So we will get started. I wanted to thank everyone for coming to our first instructional digital webinar today, Instagram for Business. My name is Justin St. Pierre. I am the Business Development Officer for the town of Prescott, and we are the project leaders for South Grenville Digital Main Street, which includes the townships of Augusta and Edwardsburg Cardinal. I think our attendee list today might be a little broader than our normal local contingent. So we are located in Eastern Ontario on the St. Lawrence River. If you are a resident of Ontario, Digital Main Street programs will be available to you across the province. You can go to digitalmainstreet.ca and see what programs are available in your area. These programs include Shop Here, which allows you to build a custom online store for your business for free, as well as the Digital Transformation Grant, which if you have a brick and mortar retail location, you can apply to receive up to $2,500 for digital activities for your business. If you are in Prescott, Edwardsburg, Cardinal, or Augusta townships, you can contact Elizabeth to discuss how you can utilize those programs. Everyone, however, is welcome to our webinars, and I'm glad so many people have come out today. We're very excited this morning to have Rudy Somerville from Rudy Joe, which is a local online boutique retailer, joining us to discuss Instagram for Business. So I will turn things over now to Elizabeth Lawless, who is our Digital Main Street Coordinator for South Grenville, and she will take you through an introduction to Instagram for Business.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you all here. Just to introduce myself, as Justin said, I'm Elizabeth. I'm the Digital Main Street Coordinator. I have my contact info there on the slide in case you have any questions, or if you are interested in joining our Digital Main Street program, you can reach out to me there. So just a quick overview for today. We're going to talk about how to get started, your branding, which also correlates with your growth online, how to set goals and some common ones that people usually choose, analytics, so we can make sure that we're assessing those goals. Our guest, Rudy, she'll take us through some of her tips and tricks to Instagram for Business, as well as some of her favorite apps that she likes to use with Instagram. We'll go over advertising as well and Instagram shopping, which is a great feature. And then we also have a question period at the end. So if you have any questions, you can bring them forward to us at the end. So how to get started. The first thing you need to do is make sure you have a business account. There are two types of Instagram accounts you can have. You can have your personal one as well as your business. If you have a personal account, you won't have access to certain features like analytics, advertising, Instagram shopping, things like that. The next thing you need to do is make sure you have a good bio. This is the little box at the top of your profile, and you kind of just put your information about yourself or your business, sorry. You want to have some personality there that kind of ties in with your branding. You can select your industry. They have a list of options there. So there's like fashion, home decor, health and wellness, things like that. And contact info is, of course, very important. Most people put an email in there so people can reach out to you, but Instagram does have a messaging feature as well, so people could always DM your Instagram page as well. And the last thing to include is a very good link. Some people put their website in there. I like to use Linktree. It is a free online source, and it takes you to an external link where you can add multiple URLs into it. So our Instagram, for example, uses Linktree. So we're able to have our Facebook page, our website, upcoming events, things like that are all available through there. And it's free, so. Moving on, we're going to talk about branding. This is really important so people are able to recognize your feed and recognize your posts. Kind of just helps give you an identity online, I guess. So you want to determine your aesthetic, the color palettes you want to use, the style of fonts you like, things like that. For your profile picture, some people like to use their logo or an adaptation of it. Some people like to use a picture of themselves just to bring some more personality into that brand. But the color palette is really important because that is your brand as a whole. So when people see those colors on their Instagram page, they're going to think of you and your business. And your brand's values are also really important as well. These can be shown through the themes you have in your posts. They can be shown through your bio on Instagram, your products, things like that. So how to grow online. It's important to remember that this doesn't happen overnight. It does take time, but the biggest thing is just being consistent. You want to have a regular posting schedule, which can be hard to maintain. So I like to use scheduling apps for that. You can use Facebook Business Suite. It's free. You can schedule your posts for Facebook and Instagram through it. It's really great. You want to make sure you don't want to overwhelm your followers. So I would recommend posting maybe 3 times a week, but it is so important to be consistent with that. And when you post regularly, it's going to boost your feed or boost your profile, and everyone else's Instagram feed. So they're going to see your posts more because they're interacting more with you. Hashtags are also really great for growth. It just kind of pushes your profile farther than just your following. So you can use ones that are either relative to your industry that you're in, relative to your products or services. Some people like to make their own hashtag that goes along with their brand. So when customers, buy products and things like that, they can use your hashtags. So then you can see their posts and engage with them. Engagement, like I said, is really important. You want to encourage it in your posts, but you also want to interact with your followers as well. This kind of creates almost a feeling of community with your business. People really like when you interact with them, and the more that you reach out to them, they're going to reach out to you as well, and that's going to push your profile further. So this is just like a quick do's and don'ts of engagement. So you do want to create some prompts for people to engage with your posts. We're going to go over those shortly. Commenting on your followers' posts. So you want to interact with your customers, your clients, etc. Sharing user-generated content is a great way to increase your engagement, as well as you want to try all different kinds of content, especially now because Instagram is pushing videos more. So you want to try and branch out into there if you can. The biggest don't, I would say, is you don't want to make your entire account just one big sales pitch. You want to show your personality, you want to show your brand, things like that. You don't only want to post like pictures of products or sale information, things like that. You want to show some real life photos as well. So here are 2 examples on the screen of engagement prompts. So the one on the left there is just a poll on Instagram so people can vote on things. This kind of makes the consumer feel involved in your business decisions, which is always fun. The second there is this or that questionnaire. These have been very big on Instagram lately. You can make your own. There's templates for it on Canva. And people just share them to their story. They circle which one they would pick, and then they would tag you in it so you can share those as well. And it just pushes your brand further out there. Question stickers is another great option. You can put them on your Instagram story. People can ask you questions. You can ask them questions and they can answer. And questions in your Instagram captions. So when you post the photo and you put your caption information at the bottom, you can say comment down below, whatever answer it is. And this will get you more comments and you can reply to them, and then it's going to boost your engagement a lot, which will boost your views. Earlier, I mentioned user-generated content. This is also great for engagement. This is like product or experience reviews. Customers usually share photos of them using your products or services, and then they'll tag you. So I recommend to share these pictures with consent, obviously. So this can like boost your engagement. It also helps bring that community feeling as well with your brand when you show real life examples of people using your products. Moving on to goals, I put the 4 common goals here on the screen. It's always really important to have a goal in mind when you go into any project. The biggest one, I think, is increasing brand awareness. So this is just, people knowing about your brand, what it is, being able to recognize it in their Instagram feed. Building a community is also really important. Our guest, Rudy, has done a great job of that, and she's going to talk about it shortly. Showcasing your company values and your company culture. This is a big one as well. This really ties into your branding, and this will, by having that company culture and values, that will help increase your brand awareness. And another common goal is selling online, whether that's through Instagram DMs or a website linked in your bio, or even using Instagram shopping as well. Being strategic is really important. Instagram has some great analytics services in the app. We're going to go into those further as well. But this kind of helps you find the best days and the best times to share, so then you get more engagement, which will really help boost your profile. You can also find the age range, the location, the gender of your followers, so then you can kind of create content to kind of cater to them specifically. So this is what Instagram analytics looks like when you go on your phone or your laptop. But the way that you get to it, it can be a little confusing. I always find I get lost in the analytics, but if you go to insights on your profile, and then you're going to go to total followers, and that will bring you to these screens where you can see like the age range of your followers, what percentage are men and women, the most active times or days. So it'll help you figure out, like on the screen, you can see there, like 6 p.m. is 408. So 408 of the followers are online at 6 p.m. So that would be your best time to post on a Sunday, for example. Like I mentioned, it's important to have different types of content on your page, just to make things a little bit different. There's a lot of options with Instagram. So you have like just your normal feed posts where you have like your picture and your caption. Another great thing is behind the scenes. I personally really like when brands I follow show the process of either creating their products, updating their website, things like that. And it's nice when it just makes you feel involved as a consumer. Reels are becoming a big thing on Instagram. They are like shorter videos. They're very similar to TikToks, for example. But since Instagram has changed their algorithm, they're pushing these videos more so than just your regular photo posts. So if you haven't tried out video content, I highly recommend that you do. There's also IGTV videos. They can be quite long. I would recommend keeping your videos under 2 minutes. I think that's the best personally. But you can have longer form videos on Instagram as well. And you can choose if you want them to come up in your feed or if you want them to be separate in the video portion. We also have Instagram stories. I mentioned them when I talked about the engagement prompts. Those would mostly be done on your stories. And then there's also live videos as well. A lot of people use live videos to show their behind the scenes and just the process of their business. So editing videos can definitely be a challenge. There are 2 apps that I like to use to edit videos. Splice is a great option. It is free. And you can also use TikTok to edit your videos, and you can save them and post to Instagram and TikTok is also free. It's a bit more user-friendly than Splice in my opinion, so I would recommend starting there. But yeah, so as I mentioned, IGTV for longer, Reels for shorter videos. With Reels, you can use, they have sounds that you can put on them, so background music, things like that. They will have an option there that says trending. It's really good to use the trending sounds because they'll get more views and people can actually follow certain sounds. So your video is more likely to come up and get pushed in the algorithm there. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to introduce our guest to everybody. This is Rudy. She is the owner of Rudy Joe. She started her business in 2018 and she began selling through Instagram messages, but has recently expanded to a website. So she has also introduced Instagram shopping now that she has her website. It is a very wholesome brand. It's very family oriented. She specializes in clothing, housewares, and decor. She has grown her business from a passion project on Instagram to her full-time job now, which is amazing. So just an overview of how it started. She originally started making all of her products by hand, and she used vinyl for her designs. Her parents were both business owners, so being an entrepreneur was very natural to her, and she was inspired by her parents. During COVID was actually when her business really took off, and now she gets to do it full time, which is amazing. And she mentioned that her biggest challenge was just getting started. It could be very intimidating to just jump right in, but sometimes that's kind of how you have to do it. So where she is now, as I mentioned, she has a website, she has Instagram shopping. She now has grown so much that she outsources the production of her products, but she makes sure to assess that they're perfect every time. She has grown a community of over 2,000 followers on Instagram, which is incredible. And she's just going to talk to us today a little bit about how she did all that. So I'll pass it over to Rudy now.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks, Elizabeth. I'm Rudy and glad to be here today. So we will jump right into building your brand. So first off, focus on serving the audience that you already have and building connections with them. It's important to do that and not just be advertising and selling all the time, or thinking of just don't focus on gaining more followers, in my opinion. Be recognizable beyond the product or service that you're selling. Be relatable to allow your potential customers to get to know you. And this is my most important point here, that people are more likely to care about your offer if they care about you first. I think that's really important to keep in mind. So in building your brand, it's important to stick to a color palette. If you haven't established a color palette yet and need some help, I do suggest going to Pinterest for inspiration. It's important to have brand values, and you can find colors that symbolize this meaning, the meaning of your values. For example, I chose soft colors for my color palette, just because I find the soft tones kind of calming, and that's appropriate to my business. So make sure that your colors do fit in with your business. In building your community, share your personality and some of your personal life through your page. Be real and be yourself and let your followers get to know you. If you create a space online that you love yourself, you are likely to gain like-minded followers. Showing behind the scenes is something that your audience will really love. And as Elizabeth mentioned, the polls are a fun way to do that. but yeah, mostly through stories or now reels, but stories are a great place to show your behind the scenes to include your customers. Okay, so creating content. If you haven't heard of the term content pillars before, it's basically categories that your business can be broken down into. So for me, it would be the farm, coffee, homesteading, motherhood, and my products. It is important to have a balance of about 80% of the time connecting with your followers and the other 20% promoting your products or service. It's so important to have professional and high quality photos. Create a posting schedule. So as Elizabeth said, you need to be really consistent with your posting. You can use different apps to schedule your posts ahead of time for you. I tend to use an app, which we'll talk about in a second. I use Unum, and I just find it really easy to visualize what my feed will look like. So I kind of dump some photos into that and then can just plan out my posts that way. And then I don't normally schedule them myself. I do tend to post on the spot, but with using them planned ahead. So I find that helpful. If you have a hard time staying consistent, then I definitely recommend using an app to schedule them for you. All right, creating captions. This is probably the hardest part for me. Writing does not come naturally. I know it's easy for some, but for me, I have to break it down into 3 sections. So your first line, you want to grab the reader's attention, make it catchy, throw in some emojis maybe. The second section is the body of your caption. In this area, you'll want to make it relatable to the reader. And the third section is a call to action. So ask them to comment below or double tap if you agree, visit link in bio, etc. All right, creating a good bio. So number one, I believe that your profile picture, if you're building a brand, I think it should be a picture of you. It is people's first impression when they come to your page, and that just helps them get to know you and recognize you. And second is your name. So in that bolded title line, you will have your business name there, but it's also important to include some keywords for your business because that line is actually searchable on Instagram. So I definitely recommend that. Next, you'll want to include what you do, who you help, and what sets you apart from other businesses that may be similar to yours. And then include a link to, so for me, it's my website, but it could be like a link tree, like Elizabeth mentioned, or even your Facebook page. If you don't have a website yet, that's a good one to do. And also just your highlights. So those circles across there, you can put a cover on them. So I just think that helps it look more aesthetically pleasing. Mine are all the exact same. They don't need to be. You can have them all different, but I definitely recommend keeping to your brand colors for that consistency. Okay, and my favorite app, so number one, Pinterest, since long before business days. But and now I do love it for business things as well. I tend to go to Pinterest often for photo styling ideas, and also just like seasonal aesthetic inspo. Canva, I use a lot. It's a really, really great tool for making graphics. I use it to design all of my stationery. So thank you tags, recipe cards that I do each season. And you can use it for creating stories too. It really is good for so you can save your brand colors, and then they're just easy to access. So you're always sticking to the exact same color tone. The bottom one on the left there is InShot, and it is good for editing videos and reels. Anum is the one I had mentioned that I use to visualize my feed and decide which photos to post and use when. And then Instagram, I just love Instagram, and I think that has really helped me build the community that I have, because I enjoy using it to promote my business and products, but also just sharing our life. And then the last one there is Lightroom. As I mentioned, having really good photos is so important, and I'm no photographer, but Lightroom sure helps. It's really easy to use, and it's just a really good photo editing app. Okay, so this is wrapping up my role here today, but I just wanted to say thank you so much to Elizabeth for having me here today and all of your kind words towards my business. I hope that everyone has gained some new tips today and can implement them right away. So thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you. You can find Rudy on Instagram and Facebook, as well as rudyjoe.com, which is linked in her bio on Instagram. Her holiday collection is coming soon, so we wanted to plug that in there as well. She will be here for the question period though, so if you have any questions for her as well, we can answer them all at the end. So moving into advertising on Instagram, I think advertising on social media is a great tool. I think my favorite thing about it is that you can choose your budget, which is really nice. You're not paying per click, you just have a set amount. So you can select the specific post that you want to boost. It can be either one that you're creating right now, or it could be an older post as well. It's going to ask you to select a goal. So this could be more people visiting your profile, more people visiting your website, or more people sending you messages on Instagram. You get to choose the audience you want. They have some that they have picked for you, but you can also hand pick your own audience as well. So age range, location, things like that. You select a budget that works for you and the duration of the ad. This will dictate your budget. And then another great thing is that you receive reports from Instagram on how your ad did, how many followers it brought you, how many more website clicks, things like that. So this is like a visual of what you're going to see when you do decide to do an ad on Instagram. So you can see there, like I mentioned, you can select your goal. So what do you want to get out of this promotion? You can define your audience. So you can either do automatic. They're going to find people that are similar to your followers, have similar interests, age range, things like that. You can target a specific one, or you can manually enter your own specifications. This is all done on the app. By the way, you don't have to go to an external website. You can just do it right from your phone. So here is the budget. So you can choose the duration of the ad. It can be a week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 1 day, whatever you like. And you choose a daily budget. So you can see there it's $5 a day for 7 days. And you can reach anywhere between 2,400 or 6,400. So it's a pretty good reach for $35. Moving on to Instagram shopping. This is a great tool. Unfortunately, you do have to have a website for it, which is a bit of a challenge. But if you do have a website, I highly recommend adding Instagram shopping to your profile. You can tag your products directly into your posts, and people can see how much the product costs, things like that, all from your post, which usually leads to more purchases. When they click on the tag in your post, it's going to take them directly to the item on your site. So they don't have to go to the link in your bio and then search on your website to find the specific item, which is really great. Like I said, you can tag it in your post, but you can also add it into your Instagram stories as well. And they can be promoted. So you can promote these products in a paid advertising as well. So the first step, you have to confirm that you're eligible. So you'll have to put in your location. They want to make sure you're in a region that supports this. If you're anywhere around here, you are in a region that supports this feature. You have to sell an eligible product. They're going to ask you about the products you sell. You will have to agree to their policies. And you do have to have a website where you sell your products from. And they will ask you to verify your domain as well. And of course, your Instagram account has to be a business account in order to access the shopping feature. But if you have a personal account, you are able to see the Instagram shopping. You just can't set up your own. So the second step is you're going to have to connect to a Facebook page. This is because your catalog of items is going to be on, it's connected to Facebook. It is Facebook Catalog Manager. So that's where you'll upload all of your items, and then you'll insert the link to the website that correlates with each item. So the way that you can connect these pages is you go to Edit Profile, Public Business Information page, and then you can either choose the Facebook page you already have, or you can create a new one as well. But by no means do you have to set up Facebook Shop as well. You can have Instagram Shop without enabling Facebook Shop as well. So moving on to the third step, like I mentioned, you have to create your catalog. You're going to use Catalog Manager, which is associated with Facebook. There are ways to upload multiple items at once, but you have to like download a program, and it's a bit more challenging. So I would recommend uploading them individually. It does take time, but I do think it is more user-friendly to do it that way. Each item will have an approval process, so they want to make sure it's connected to a real website that you can buy from and things like that. It usually only takes an hour or so. And once they're approved, they'll show up directly in your Instagram Shop tab on your profile. And then you can start tagging them in posts, and people are going to be able to shop right from your Instagram page. Step 4 is account review. So once you have a few items in your catalog, like I said, they'll be submitted for review. If it's your first time setting it up, they're going to review your entire account, so it's going to take a bit longer. So you have to submit it for this. So you go to settings, you want to sign up for shopping, and then submit account for review. And then you can check your review status at any time. But if it doesn't, if the shopping option does not come up, then you haven't been approved yet. And like I mentioned, you might have to verify your domain. So they will email you if they have any questions. Their customer support is actually really great. I've used it a few times and I find them super helpful. They answer quickly. So if you do run into problems with it, you will be able to resolve them with the Instagram's team. And we also have to turn on the shopping feature. So like I mentioned, if you haven't been approved yet, it won't show up. Here's an example of Rudy's shop feature. So you can see the product is tagged right in there. You would just click on that tag and it would take you straight to the product on her website. So like I said, once you're approved, you can start tagging products. This is just an example of Rudy's Instagram shop. So you can see kind of what it looks like there. So you can see there's a button that says view on website. That's going to take you straight to her external site. And you can see it's super easy to shop from. So that is all I have for today. I just wanted to mention this is a webinar series. So today we had Instagram for Business. November 17th, we'll be doing Facebook Business Suite, and December 8th is Canva 101. So Facebook Business Suite, we'll talk about its features. It does correlate with a lot of Instagram's features. So if you're really looking to grow your business online, I'd recommend joining us on November 17th. And Canva is on December 8th. It's a great tool. Like Rudy mentioned, you can create a whole brand profile in it. And it's super helpful for just making everything so much easier in the business process, but it really helps with branding. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute, put them in the chat, whatever you like.
So there are a few in the chat here, Elizabeth.
Okay,
I'll just go through and read a couple to you here now. So I believe talking about the prompt, someone asked, what is the best way to share something like a prompt? Would it be via stories or a post?
I would recommend in stories, but if you do it in a post, you might get less engagement, because when it's in a story, it's kind of anonymous, like only the owner of the profile sees what they answered. Whereas if you're commenting on a post, people might be less likely to give tips and suggestions and things like that, rather than an anonymous question sticker.
Another question is, are you able to give examples of behind the scenes when someone sells products that they don't create themselves? So someone is a retailer of products they might not be designing or creating themselves. What would be some examples of how they could share the behind the scenes aspects of that business?
I know Rudy does some where she shows her packaging process. So making the packaging, packing orders, things like that. I don't know if Rudy wants to share any ideas as well, but I know I've seen her do that a few times.
I was thinking that too. It could be like even the Purolator truck backing in the driveway, or that's a regular here. Packaging orders for sure. If you're involved in any of the design process, then try to include that too. But also just regular life too. It doesn't always have to be like directly related to your business. If that's helpful at all, Joanne.
Yeah, like you said, you want to show your personality through your brand as well. So just your everyday stuff is nice too.
Yeah, I think it's important to incorporate all aspects of life, which is all really behind the scenes, doesn't have to be product or service specific.
Right.
Another question was, do you have suggestions for keeping people engaged with a seasonal business in the off season?
I would think that one would be really good for behind the scenes. You could show just your regular daily life, show your personality on Instagram. But if you do any prep work in the off season, that's something you could show to your followers and things like that. There's also lots of holidays, so you can always share, a Thanksgiving post, a holiday post, things like that, just to let people know that you're still there.
Yeah, I would say don't just go silent for the winter. If you have pictures from the summertime, even just incorporate them and still show up regularly so you don't just disappear.
And if there are any more questions, either in the chat or if anyone wants to unmute and jump in, now would be the time.
I have a question about the music. I have issues with finding like trending music, which I know you said there's like a trending option, but where is that? Is it just like when you're making a reel and stuff like that? Where do you find the trending?
It should be, I'm trying to picture it right now. I know there's a tab somewhere, but another option I mentioned, TikTok is great for editing your videos, theirs is a lot easier to use, and they have like a big sticker that says trending and you can click on that. And usually if they're trending on TikTok, they're also trending on Instagram. So that's an option if you want to do it that way. But I'm pretty sure I'd have to look at it, but it's in there somewhere. But it is confusing.
Yeah, because you can get it on a personal account, but then you can't necessarily access like the good music on a business account. At least that's my experience. And
okay.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Cool music and not accessible.
I had that issue as well. Sorry, it's Rudy here. And I'm actually just looking at my phone to try and find where it is, but I believe it where your category is. I think I had to switch to creator mode in order to see all the good music. So we can find that and let you know, or send a message so that we can follow up with it. But that was a problem for me. I didn't have access to all of the good music. So there is a way around it, and I'm just trying to look it up.
I do remember doing that as well, going into creator mode. That gave you access to more video features.
Okay, so it was creator.
Yeah, but you're still a business page. You're just,
yes.
There's a lot of options.
Awesome, thanks.
So everyone who attended today will receive an email with the recording of this for your future reference. We'll also include the registration links for the 2 upcoming webinars on Facebook, Business Suite, and Canva 101. So if you'd like to attend those, you can register there. As I mentioned off the top, but some people came in a little bit later, if you are located in Ontario, you can access digital Main Street programs across the province, including Shop Here, which helps you build a free website for your business, as well as the Digital Transformation Grant Program, which if you have a bricks and mortar location, so a bricks and mortar retail location, you can apply for up to $2,500 to help with your digital transformation. If you're in South Grenville, so Augusta, Edwardsburg, Cardinal, or Prescott, and you want to discuss either of those programs, you can contact Elizabeth. We'll include all her contact details in this email as well. So again, thank you everyone for coming, and I look forward to seeing you again at our next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.